The Suit of Wands is fire, ruled by passion in human beings, or a sense of wanting to go out and do things, taking action. It can also be impulse, or it could also be like clouded passion, forgetting what to do. Ace of Wands is sort of an enterprise, a new opportunity. It could be a journey, or it could also be something materially good around business. It could also be a spiritual idea. It could also be a sense of having the courage to fight something or complete something. It could be also an invention. In reverse, it's procrastination. It could be a sense of having this great idea but not doing anything to pursue it and hitting a block with an idea. It could be like a stick in the mud sort of feeling. The Two of Wands is a sense of looking out. What does the world have in hand? It's all about accomplishments and aspirations. It is associated with artistic or scientific success, the balance or gain in control of work and career, big ambitions. And the reverse of the Two of Wands, it could be impatience. It could be that a lag happens. Could also be meaning that the seeker won't surpass their father or their mother. It could also be a sense of this person doesn't have a detailed picture. Take it slow, get the detail, open your eyes, look out. Could also have to stay grounded. Three of Wands is all about validation, productivity. It's all about entrepreneurial success. It's about two ideas working and one still there about to give way. It's also about boats coming in, shipments, supplies. In the reverse, it could also be negligence, carelessness, mistakes, and setbacks. It could be a sense of negative connotations to the business. It could be also heavy competitive risk and obstructions, why there is no success in business. The Four of Wands is about prosperity, concord, familia, bliss. It's about celebration, peace in domestic sphere, happily married people. Also a sense of showing people soon to be married. It could be sort of showing the way of marriage or the prediction of marriage. In reverse, it's still a good card. It's just a sense of having to realize the good things that you're surrounded with. It could also be a sense of transitioning from one status to another. The card in reverse could also indicate you already possess prosperity, peace, and happiness, but fail to appreciate it. It could also interpret that still the seeker still has proper domestic sphere, but the seeker is not appreciating it. In essence, the card in reverse reminds the seeker to appreciate home and hearth. The Five of Wands is all about competition, rivalry, and contention. It's a matter of a clash on the card, showing these people dancing with these sticks. It's all about materialistic squabbles. Could be people fighting over who does what around where. It could be a sense of, are these colleagues or are these truly allies? The clash of egos is what happens, though. In reverse, it's about reconciliation. It's about is positive, presents new opportunities. It's about the seeker winning the competition. It's about him standing over everybody at the end of the squabbles. Six of Wands is all about victory and success. It's a man on this horse with a wreath on his head. He's holding a wand high up, and there's tons of people gathered around to salute them with their rods. Six of Wands is about leading in progress in work, career, artistic, scientific advancement due to leading innovation. It's about getting victory over others in a creative project yields commercial fruition. The red robe that the man indicates ambition. The green robe on the horse indicates profit and commercial gain. Yellow undergarments peeking out from beneath the robe indicate personal contentment. Reverse meaning is a positive omen in reverse wands, essentially the same as its upright. However, it may delays and challenges the seeker that need to overcome in reverse. The forecast in victory is still strong, but it may take longer than the seeker expects. It may be minor hiccups, indicates untapped potential. The Seven of Wands is resistance, opposition, and tenacity. It's a matter of remaining focused and knowing people are gunning for you. Strong will, defiance. The seeker is in a position of resistance. The seeker is fierce and fearless. The ability to hold and stand his or her ground against multiple adversaries. However, the seeker feels backed into a corner. There could be hostilities in work environment. The seeker could feel outnumbered, yet the seeker possesses courage and character. The Seven of Wands reveals important fact, the seeker's nature. When faced with fight or flight, the seeker will fight. If this card is past position, then the seeker has already won the fight. If it's in the present, great deal of fighting and defiance defines the current situation, or the seeker has been backed into a corner and must now be ready to fight back. If in the future, then the seeker will need to show great resistance soon. The card is also a warning to not let others back the seeker into a corner. Don't delay and wait until the last possible moment to fight. The seeker must stand his ground. The Seven of Wands in reverse is a strike now. Indecision plagues the seeker. The seeker must have more confidence in his or her own strength. The seeker has ability to fend off his or her adversaries, but not been doing so in the fullest potential. Do not wait for the perfect moment. Strike now. The threats will grow more serious, and if the seeker doesn't act now, the seeker must execute from more confidence. Do not be vulnerable. The seeker must get back on his feet. The seeker should fight. The seeker should regain confidence and fight. Fleeing is not an option. Fleeing is not a good option in this card. Reversed. The Eight of Wands is air meets fire. Fire meets air. It's all about messages or taking shots. It could be a sense of laying seeds and seeing what evolves in certain aspects. Planting various amount of trees. It could be around relationships, business. It could also be around taking action. There's a great deal of buzz activity to come. New ideas will be highly promising. This card could indicate arrows of love fast approaching, bringing good news. It's always about good news with the Eight of Wands upright. In reverse, it could indicate bad news. There are possible interpretations of the Eight of Wands reversed. They could quite from one another. The one that applies will depend on the context, but the spread it could indicate or indication obstruction and prevent progress action. The seeker procrastinating. The Eight of Wands warns of procrastination. It could also indicate hasty rush into an endeavor before the seeker is fully prepared for the outcome. Shows Eight of Wands representative of arrows aimed for higher targets, the strong likelihood of hitting it. Nine of Wands is about defensive and protective. It's about a banged up man standing out behind a bunch of wands in front of him. The seeker is up in arms, prepared for battle in the defensive position rather than an offensive one. Despite past injury, the seeker is still full of fire and ready to fight another day. However, the card urges that there is another way. The seeker does not need to do so defensively and overprotective. The seeker feels like he or she is in a defensive protective mode, like he or she has to fight to defend his or her territory. The seeker's physical facilities are exhausted from all the fighting, but the seeker should refuse to acknowledge that exhaustion and address it. Like the fellow depicts in the card, the seeker refuses to ask others for help and instead is left alone to defend his or her territory, and thus is struck in that position, unable to grow elsewhere. As a result, the seeker is in defensive mode, alone protecting what the seeker has rather than exploring beyond, gain more. There's also a suggestive passive stance rather than active. The character in the card seems to be waiting for something to happen. The Nine of Wands should mean you should go get help and get help for what you have to do. In reverse, Nine of Wands means you've already collapsed from exhaustion. You're already kaput. You're already done by being exhausted. You can't go anymore because you didn't get help in the upright stance. The Ten of Wands, burdened, trivial, labored in positions. In this picture, a man's carrying a bunch of wands and lumber. His back is under stress. He's really pushing it forward. He can't really see where it's going as the wood spaghetti's in front of him. It's about being overloaded. It's about oppressive load is hindering him from her seeing the path. This load cannot see where they're going. Maybe the seeker is indecisive about the path or should take in life because the seeker is doing too much at once. Maybe the seeker is burdened by administration duties or transactional burdens and they can't see the original mission or the venture that was supposed to happen. The carried load is preventing insight into the future. That said, the outlook is still optimistic, indicated by the blue sky. The seeker manages to burden well without much incident, as suggested by a clear path at his feet. In the end, the seeker will reach his destination just as the town is in sight. The Ten of Wands in reverse means the seeker is carrying too much, overburdened, and is going to have to take time to do it as fast as possible or push off some of the duties so he can really manage himself or herself. The seeker is losing his or her grip on the load, probably at the brink of sanity. The seeker bears more than can be handled right now and must prioritize.